people they say the good angels come in myriads and the bad angels come in legions. What would it mean to re-legion? Would this not mean to gather more troops to a previously depleted legion? Even deeper, how did their legions become depleted anyway? Could it be that various beings such as the Venusians had been defeated before and fled to our galaxy? I believe so, and that is why we have to make sure to not join their ranks, and if we know we have joined them through one folly or another, disavow. Ill as in not well, sick, like the so-called illuminated Illuminati and their illusions. Pathetic. These losers are using magic to imprison people, thus most criminals are really victims. The code is so heavy it is a wonder we all aren't insane criminals, even though many are and silently act it out in their mind or on video games. Behold, look what things have come to. Man traps his brother in cages like animals for profit. The legal system itself I took personal interest in. All the post offices and courthouses that belong to the United States are all built with the same granite, no matter how far they have to ship it. This granite comes from Elberton, Georgia. Crystals and stones, 76 page, can be programmed with intent, and since all the stones come from the same place, it all holds the same unique frequency. The police officer is a Mason, the judge is a Mason, the lawyer is a Mason, and the prison guard is a Mason. From the time one gets in the system, they are in the hands of the Masons' modern-day slavery chain. Reason 59. One of the unseen hands of the real Illuminati. This is how they have received information of such high caliber on the subject of galactic domination. They do abide by a strict hierarchy. Those who join are so far on the bottom of the pyramid they get crushed by the titans on the top, thus they are putty in the hands of these beings who must be dealt with by the enlightened human on astral planes. One cannot concentrate too long on why they are doing this. The light does not comprehend the darkness. 77 page. Reason 60. Another part of the unseen hand is the red dragon. They are not shy in telling you they serve him. Their symbol is also the lion and the serpent, false wisdom and nobility. Evil has found a willing servant. Spoken by George Bush. Leo, the lion who has been lying since the beginning, proposing to be the GHT of the world and the king of the beasts. The best depiction of the lion is on The Wizard of Oz, and they now lack the courage to face what they have done. Male. This is the exciting part about the code. Sometimes you crack into things that have such a deeper meaning that you know you still have a lot to learn. This is a powerful term all the way around. It is used to denote the masculine sex and its relationship to Ma. A book written on secret societies spoke of a brotherhood of Ma that predated most secret societies, period. This brotherhood, 78 page, was said to be in conjunction with Mars and Maldek, a planet in our system that was destroyed. This is also a form of communication and a form of armor, as in chain mail. Nail. I was in deep meditation one time and I was asking about the T, and why it was so important to Christianity as in the Trinity. When I finally got a response, it said the T is in nailed James, and that blew my mind. Obviously I get excited easily, but seriously I knew there was definitely a connection with Jesus being nailed to the cross, which is what they emphasize the most when they reenact that whole terrible scene of the sacrifice. Nails and hooks in magic all have some weird dark use. What is being clearly shown is sharp objects that poke like forks. The devil's fork, swords, daggers are all tools of darkness. The devil is often called a nail. This doesn't mean to freak out next time you're at the dinner table, but what you will find is most indigenous cultures eat with their hands. Cutting and poking things clearly has its own subconscious effects and was the real sign of savagery. Oil, the destruction of mankind on Earth. I was swimming the other day in the ocean and I could not help but to notice the amount of plastic washing up on the shore. Since I feast on vegetables and fruit, I can throw the rinds and peelings in the compost, but the plastic must be thrown in the trash. I started noticing just how much plastic is really in circulation just between bags for nuts, groceries, Ziplocs, etc. Every time someone tries to disarm your intent on changing things, attempting to make you believe that everything is okay and it's just all in your mind, think of the plastic. When they try to unmask love and light, you telling you to consider only yourself, Consider the plastic and how it's choking and suffocating our mother. The government could ban plastic right now and big industry would be forced to use the alternative that has already been laid out for them, but they will not do it because we have to overthrow them on the spiritual plane first. It is there things can be handled, it only takes one of us and thousands of them fall by the wayside. Mighty we are, immortalis. Pale, an angel that spends more than 7 days on earth is substantialized and becomes pale and opaque. Many of them dispersed into Canaan, called afterwards Palestine, which is now Israel. They swept the world with terror. Those who also came from the Isles of Albion, which is Britain, they look lifeless. This is where the term albino comes from. Venusians have this same appearance. Quail, still wondering why this is the state bird of California? Real, this is as real as it gets. As you see, you are on the target. This is what is really going on, not the illusion. And of course their latest addition to unguided spiritual mayhem, Rael, who is most assuredly down with the diabolical plan, inciting his followers to all-out blasphemy and hedonism. In this condition they can do little for the world. 79 PAGE. Reason 61. The country of Canada is actually funding Rael to go about his ministry of basically do whatever you want. There is no God, just another hedonist cult on the surface. However, because they are linked with Thule, as you can see by their medallions, I knew they had to be up to more. Sure enough, they run an actual baby cloning facility where a mother who has suffered a miscarriage can actually have the baby. They use the blood and DNA of the deceased baby and make a new one. Of course, this is a very expensive procedure, so they attract very wealthy candidates. This is like the movie Omen, where these evil babies were put into wealthy households to later control major companies. Earthy away, this is big time ET action. Rael has at least a dozen surrogate mothers on staff waiting to hatch a baby. Their website promotes all of this, no legal problems whatsoever, pure Zionist breaking all the rules they enforce. Seal what you will find with the serpent energy, since each S is a symbol for a serpent like Hitler's SS. Cracking the code when you come to the S words, swords, they always are deeply embedded with meaning. Now sale and deal go together, and that makes business, the art of swindling our poor fellows. On the other hand, when it comes down to it, magical seals are the most powerful. The purpose of a seal is to close something and thus trapping it to do bidding or holding it so it won't escape. Solomon's seal, which is the Star of David, was designed to do just that, trap things. When Solomon would seal gin in bottles, he would put the Star of David on top. Once again you can see that even Metatron's cube, which has hit the number 1 spot in sacred geometry, is none other than a hex used time and time again to keep souls which are seeking higher truth passing back and forth between this demented dimension and Saturn. It is a mental weakening tool, as many have already admitted, since its main purpose is only to weaken the cube. It should never be placed in the mind. 80 PAGE. Reason 62. The knowledge of the organic cube was taken from Egypt, now given the title the Flower of Life. The Egyptians used this to visually encase matter within it. Then it was used to move things, especially large objects, around with their minds. Meditating on this geometric shape incorrectly will help solidify the cubic frame of the body we are already trapped in, thus it is not the chariot. The real purpose for these shapes is an art called tesseract, which is the shape you see on the right. This is for bringing things into this dimension from the June 4 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Our body is the carbon structure of the cube, the beast, but not our spirit. The Flower of Life later became Metatron's cube when the lines were made straight. Tail, we come to our favorite reptilian appendage, the tail, along with the word always used for the erroneous stories we are told, especially as children, that is fairy tales, wives' tales, and tall tales. Veil, a very powerful word from my point of view. This is what creates the illusion. The world walks about veil, meaning unable to see the truth. Whale, to continuously cry, and our aquatic friends known to originate on the aquatic moon Europa and also Sirius, along with dolphins. Yell to scream, and also the famous university which still has the seal of the Urim and the Thummim, the ancient Hebraic rune stones. These are objects